What's up, everyone? You guys are listening to KROJ 101.5 FM. This is Las Comadres on Voces Unidas Airtime. We're taking over. Our crew is busy doing life stuff. Mel is handling some business as well as Teodora. But we have the crew outside. Everybody's here. And if you guys have been tuned in, you've been listening to The Drop on Spotify. This is curated by today's guests. And we're going to get to know a little bit about what the coffee drop is, what Petrichor Brew Lab is, and who our lovely guests today are. We have here Daniel and Steph. Hello, hello. How are you guys?
Hi.
Hello.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
So, you guys are a couple. You guys have a family business called Petrichor Brew Lab. I was looking on Instagram and I found a video where you explain what the word petrichor means. And I would love to start the show with that, term and description.
Yeah. Well, Steph and I talked about starting a business probably since the beginning, like when we met. And for a long time, it was kind of like, let's pick a name and then see what comes from that, right? And so we talked a lot about like the name and what it could be. And one day, I don't even remember how we came upon it. I think it was Steph that brought up the word petrichor. And then we're like, ooh, petrichor. And we had just found out what that meant. We're like, I like that. It's kind of nostalgic. It's kind of, it's fresh. It's like new beginnings. So petrichor is that smell that the ground emanates after first rain. So that's kind of where it comes from. New beginnings, fresh starts, and a little bit of nostalgia. Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have a little bit of background on the name, what Petrichor is, can you guys tell us a little bit about what Petrichor Brew Lab is and how did that name transform into what your family business is now?
Yeah, I'd love to kind of share, like, as Daniel was saying, we started off by always visiting breweries, visiting coffee shops together. And I think it was around last year, we put a list together and it showed that we had been to over 100 plus breweries together. And that was in different states that we had visited. And we've just always been chasing that third space, that space that makes us feel welcomed and comforted, and bringing that into like our family business. It's Daniel, myself, and Juan. So I'm with two brothers. And then,
Juan's my brother. Yeah.
So I'd say right now it's looking like possibility because we want to make events happen and we want it to be curated and be able to bring those feelings we felt when we were traveling around and just discovering new spaces. We really hope to emanate that feeling when people come to experience, for example, the coffee drop, that they will get that sense of nostalgia or that sense of like, wow, I'm so curious, or I'm going to continue being curious because this was a cool experience.
I love that. So going into we'll get into the business a little bit right now, but I love that it's started off with the intention of being, family oriented. Do you guys, the three of you, go out often together? Is that where this kind of was born? Can we talk a little bit about that, like the adventures you guys have had together that kind of maybe sparked a bit of what the spaces you want to curate are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So like Steph was saying, when we first started dating, we loved visiting breweries, and we were both, in love with the beer, but even more so the spaces. Something that maybe you don't get in a coffee shop, but you get in a brewery is that, when you sit down at the bar and you're enjoying a beer, someone sits down next to you and now you're starting to talk about the beer, you're having a conversation, you start to learn about each other, you really start to socialize and grow that community in such an organic way, right? So that's kind of really what inspired it. And we did a lot of traveling throughout the U.S. Mostly, I would say, partly because of my work. I traveled a bit for work, but then also just random adventures. We love to go camping. We love to go hiking. So everywhere we went, we focused on finding good like nature spots and good breweries. Like it was always centered around that. We're like, all right, where can we get some good hikes and some good beer?
Oh, wait, that reminds me. When we started, first we were the Brews. So Daniel and I had an Instagram. That's actually probably the beginning.
Yeah.
It was the Brews, and we would share a beer with someone, a hiker at the top that we had just met, and we made it our intention that we would meet someone, share that beer, and hear them out, like why did they visit, or what's pretty much their
learn
business
their
in that
story.
space. And we
Yeah.
did. From that, we made some friends up on top of the mountains.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I love that. We all love hiking here. We used to have a hiking crew that we used to like hike up with. Kind of died out a year ago, and we have intentions of starting it up again. So I think that would be cool to do like a little collab there. But I love that was the intention with that back then. What did you say the name was?
It was called the Brews.
The Wilder Brews. Okay, that sounds like a camp I want to go to. The Wilder Brews, an adult camp.
Yeah.
But let me see. Let me backtrack a bit. So you guys, would visit different locations together through work, through the love of nature and hiking. Where does coffee kind of like intersect with that?
Yeah. I think coffee's always been a part of my life, especially with my mom, God rest her soul. She was a big coffee lover, loved it all the time. I still remember the funniest thing. One year for Lent, she gave up coffee. It was miserable. We were all begging her to start drinking coffee again because she was in such a bad mood all the time. But I think that's where it came from for me. She was always drinking coffee. There was always coffee in the house. And that's kind of where it started. And I have this thing where I kind of like hyper focus on things. So when I got into beer, started drinking beer, and started getting really into beer, we started making beer. With coffee, it was kind of the same thing where I started to get into coffee more and more. And then all of a sudden I was like down the rabbit hole, just crazy, right? Like making water that was specific for coffee, like researching it night and day. I get really obsessive. So that's kind of where it came from. And I love being able to wake up in the morning and make a cup of coffee, have it be a meditative way to start my day. But I also really just enjoyed the aesthetic and the culture around coffee. And I wanted to kind of join that together with the culture of breweries. So the social aspect of breweries together with the, aesthetic and the ability to have a drink in the morning that comes from a coffee shop.
I think on my end it's a little different. I guess like I'm an urban farmer now, so that connection to like our soil and our land is what really brought me to beer, but the social aspect as well. But I remember coffee was being able to drink coffee with my abuelita, and I was probably like 6 or 7, but we would go to Hometown Buffet, and I'd be like, Grandma, can I have some coffee? And it was just pretty much milk and sugar. And to this day, I'm a milk and sugar coffee type of girl, and I will enjoy a café de olla, and like that is my comfort. And with the beer, I guess on that end too, it's this very similar. Like I really pay attention to like how the hops are grown, where the hops are grown and sourced. Like here, a lot of breweries, they get some wet hops from a farm in Fillmore, and just knowing like the origin of your hops, I think is like kind of the same vibe that you are able to learn and experience with coffee and learning the origin of your coffee bean.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a whole other part of the coffee story, right? Like where it comes from, the origin, the terroir, how it's grown. And a lot of the newer coffee companies are starting to tell the story of the farmers too, and how they grow and process the coffee. So it's a lot of fun to like really look into it and see where it comes from. And also make that connection, right? Because coffee has become such a commodity that people have lost connection with where it comes from. And so being able to really go back to that and be more connected to it is, I think, really important.
Wow, I love all of this. I want to remind everybody that you guys are listening to KROJ 101.5 FM. This is Voces Unidas. We're on every Monday, and we are having a conversation with Petrichor Brew Lab. The founders are Daniel, Steph, and Juan, which is Daniel's brother. And just for the dynamic purposes here, Daniel and Steph are a couple, and this is a family business here, and we're getting to know a little bit of the history behind it. And what I'm hearing is really that you guys have really been super intentional with the way that you guys engage with, I guess, your environment around yourselves, and your experiences have, reflected that intentionality. And this business is just a mixture of all the things that you guys love, right? And so that's amazing. That's beautiful. I am so here for it. I don't think anybody who cannot be behind a business like this. This is amazing. And I've had the pleasure this weekend of sitting down and having a bit of a coffee tasting experience with Daniel and Steph. And it was a very immersive experience for sure. The step, literally every single step of it, from opening the coffee bag to the portions to cleaning your product before you use it, and the method of doing that, and warming it up, and every single step was so meticulous, so intentional, and the result was amazing. And so I'm super excited for folks to get to experience this themselves, and I want to kind of get into that. So we're going to take a quick little musical break, and we're going to be right back to talk about the coffee drop with Petrichor Brew Lab. And for now, enjoy this playlist that they have curated called The Drop. It's available on Spotify, and it is curated by the founders of the Petrichor Brew Lab. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. We are back on KROJ 101.5 FM. I am Comadre Diosy.
And Comadre Maria.
We're Las Comadres. Hello. We're on every first, third, and fifth, if there's a fifth, Monday of the month, which is the odd Mondays. And then every second and fourth Monday, you guys will catch Voces Unidas, this is supposed to be Voces Unidas Lab, but we are always here to fill in for anybody, okay? Sometimes it's just me and my comadre. Sometimes
most of the time it's me and Diosy.
Yes, it's
other people are getting big jobs so that later on they can help us.
Yes,
smaller folks who only have small VAs.
Yeah. Girl, I have no
VA from 20 years ago.
I have no degree, okay? So
oh my god.
Let's not talk about that. Anyways, we're here with Petrichor Brew Lab, and the founders are Daniel and Steph, who are a couple, and their brother, Juan. And we have had the pleasure to meet Steph here in the community, and that's how we got introduced to her lovely family business. And it's been such a pleasure getting to know them off air, like on a personal note, but more so here on air. It's been interesting to hear a little bit about the dynamics that have made them who they are, and have created such a beautiful experience for you all to come and enjoy. So I want to get into that. It's called The Coffee Drop, and y'all came and told us a little bit about this, and we were like, oh yes, we love this idea, we're on board, whatever you guys need. So can you guys tell us a little bit about what is the Coffee Drop? And let's just start there. What is the Coffee Drop?
Sure. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't give the family a shout out. So Shout out to all the family. I've got 5 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
And a shout out to my baby, our 9-month-old Joel. So, yeah, now I can get into it. So, yeah, the coffee drop was an idea we had to kind of combine all of our favorite things, right? Community, music, coffee, and beer. We wanted to create an environment and a space where people can come together, where they can build community and enjoy these things. Much like, the coffee tasting we had the other night, to really learn about the coffee, learn about the beer, learn about each other. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'd say the intention behind the coffee drop is also to merge music and merge the experience and the taste, but like be in different spots. Like the coffee drop isn't meant to just be in one solo location. It's really meant to uplift the community, and we want to showcase different roasters as well and different breweries. So I definitely see the coffee drop just really uplifting different businesses and allowing us the opportunity to showcase the experience of what makes coffee so different, while also being well-rounded and being also including those different like brews, beer. So I think that's what makes the coffee drop unique and for the
Yeah.
curious, as we shared
Yeah,
before.
definitely. And I think, we talked early on about wanting a brick and mortar and all that. But then we thought, why limit ourselves to a single location, right? We get to explore different venues. We can move to wherever people want to experience this. So we kind of are working off of like a pop-up style business model.
Okay. I really enjoy pop-ups. I think one of my favorite things to do is go to like beer gardens and enjoy farmers markets and stuff like that. And I always like when they have a nice little spot where you can just chill out. And last time Daniel and I found ourselves at the garden and we were just hanging out, and like we took, I think we only had one beer, honestly, but we savored that beer. And it was at it was a Reseda Rising event. And it was really lovely. But that's kind of what I'm thinking about the vibe when I hear about the coffee drop. It's going to be outdoors, right? Or where's the location going to be? Let's talk about like where's the coffee drop, or is that TBD?
So we do have a location,
Okay.
and it is outdoors. However, there's also a TBD element to that.
Okay.
There may be an opportunity to I would say almost upgrade the venue. So
Ooh,
it's
I
in the
love
works.
that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Well, can we talk a little bit about the energy that we're trying to bring out at the coffee drop? What can folks expect when they get there?
We're starting at 10 a.m. Let's start there. We're going for that early morning rise, but it's like a different morning ritual where you're coming in, you're going to grab some coffee in you, get caffeinated, have some good DJs playing. So you'll have that music element. So really giving yourself some time to sip and to move around. And I'd say that's kind of the vibe. We want that energy coming in, that fresh energy in the morning. So however you wake up that morning, you show up and, you
And
share
this
that.
is November 29th. So this is going to be Thanksgiving weekend, post Thanksgiving. So usually there's, a lot of closures, not much going on. So this will be a nice little getaway from the family, from, maybe something you do with your friends, right? What else can folks expect to experience when they get to the coffee drop?
Yeah. So I guess it's going to be all inclusive, right? So with the purchase of your ticket, it's all you can drink. We'll likely have some food too. That's also to be determined, whether it's pastries or maybe something a little more substantial, but we'll have that for sure. And then really it's to come and learn. Like Steph mentioned a couple times, it's for the curious, right? It's for people who want to discover something new, want to learn about coffee in a way that maybe they haven't before. Um, so yeah, it's about again, community, right? Coming and meeting new people, enjoying their company, learning about the coffee, just enjoying yourself. And you're right. On Thanksgiving weekend, right? Right after you've had some probably hectic times with the family.
We
who
all know.
knows?
We all know. Don't need to beat around no bushes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. Let's talk about. You guys mentioned that you are wanting to showcase different venues and different breweries, different different breweries in the community. What kind of partnerships are you guys looking into, and do you already have with the coffee drop?
Yeah, so we've been really lucky to have a partnership set up already with Santa Cruz Brewing in Santa Clarita. So they're one of our favorite breweries. They're right down the street from us, and they make a delicious blonde that is made with coffee, actually, believe it or not. So it's a really enjoyable, easy drinker, and we thought, oh my goodness, why not partner with them for the coffee drop, right? So we're gonna be serving their beer. As far as the coffee goes, I really wanted to serve coffee that would help people see how different it can be, right? So I wanted to get something that would really kind of expand your original thoughts of what coffee can be, and so I decided to work with Black and White Coffee Roasters. They're out of North Carolina, so we'll be serving their coffee at the coffee drop. If you want to look them up, they make some amazing coffees. They work with a bunch of really great producers. They have a great roast profile, and they really do showcase some pretty unique and special coffees.
Okay. I love that. I think that I visited the what's it called? The brewery?
Santa Cruz Brewery.
Santa Cruz Brewery. I visited the Santa Cruz Brewery recently for the first time, and it was a nice brewery. I'm gonna say I really enjoyed the seltzer. I believe is what I had. It felt almost like a what was it saying? Like what we were saying we liked the other day, cider. It almost felt like a cider, which is nice. I enjoy stuff more on the lighter side, and so that option was perfect. So you guys have some partnerships already established. Are you guys still looking for partnerships? If you are, what kind of partnerships are you guys looking for?
Absolutely. I'd say we're looking for partnerships who'd be open to hosting a coffee drop, looking for partners who'd like to either do like raffles or giveaways with us so that we can promote their business, but also the coffee drop. And then looking into local roasters would be ideal too, whether it's local like California or SoCal. We do know there are some roasters like out in Ventura that we could reach out to. So I'd say food as well. Like, we can't forget our food vendors. At this first coffee drop this time around, where you're kind of not doing the food portion, but it's just because it's a new one. Mm-hmm. So as we grow, and that's our goal, is we'll grow and we'll be able to showcase local vendors around here as well.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, so constantly looking for new partnerships, because the idea is to include more of the community. Mm-hmm. and really showcase all the vibrancy that there is around us, right? And all the different providers of coffee and beer and food. So, yeah.
Yeah, and let's not forget entertainment. To wrap up, let's talk about the partnership with Momo Productions. We've seen, we work here with Daniel Molina, which is Momo, aka Momo Productions, for those of you guys that know him as Momo. Where was the idea to bring Daniel in? I know that we talked about it ourselves, but this is something that's very much in alignment with Daniel's personal life and stuff. So it's really cool to see him be a part of this partnership as well.
I'm so blessed that I have been able to work with y'all. I just know how hard you grind for your community and how much love that you pour into it. I've been able to see you in your zone and see y'all in your element, and it just felt very fitting as we were talking about, like, we need to find music in the valley, and we were very specific about the valley. Like, the San Fernando Valley is where we want the coffee drop, like Santa Clarita, I mean LA County in general, but the idea was that why drive all the way to LA if we have so many like fruitful spaces here in this area as well. But yeah, I just really thought about Daniel and the way you guys always are there for us when it comes to music, and it's always bringing the right energy, and I really have enjoyed it. So I pitched that idea, and I was like, let's see if they like our idea or if it's too crazy.
Yeah. Well, I can say that Daniel was super on board and loves the idea. This is something that I think he's been wanting to see in the community. Personally, something that we want to have access to and visit ourselves, as a couple as well. It's going to be a nice space for our community to like unwind and connect and find, just that common ground through a nice brew. And so on that note, is there anything that you guys want to touch on before we wrap up that you guys didn't get to share already?
I wanted to add, there was this moment we were talking at the farm, and I think it was Daniel who had mentioned it when we were like meeting up for Voces, and he had mentioned like, we want raves in the valley, and then it was just at perfect timing because I was like, wait, we've been talking about this. So that was
we do. I feel like, oh my gosh, there's a need here for that type of environment, that upbeat, environment. I think it's happening. It's we are creating that environment for ourselves right now, and it's definitely going to be nice to see how that translates with all the different changes that are happening in the community, which is like amazing to even think about. There's pros and cons, with all of these changes. We know that gentrification is always a factor when these changes happen in the community. When you better your community, there are always other types of people that are going to move into the community and make it harder. So we're always facing these factors, but again, so beautiful to be working with local people, with people, like-minded folks. And yeah, just thank you guys for coming on air, for sharing about yourselves, your business, and this new initiative, this new project that you guys have for the community to come and enjoy. Lastly, do you guys want to just like do a nice little look at the camera and invite folks?
Sure.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Buy your tickets to the coffee drop.
Hey, buy your tickets. Come and have some fun with us. Sip some good coffee, sip some good beer, and enjoy the wonderful music that Momo Productions is going to put on for us.
And if you're listening, then you should take 5. Use that code when you buy your ticket. Take 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, as always.
Oh, yes.
Find a way to escape the grind and unwind.
Ooh. Okay, beautiful, guys. Comadre, thank you. You listened a lot. You listened very well today. Thank you for being here. I know that also you are not feeling the best today, and but I always want to give you your flowers for always showing up for us, for and yes, guys, that was Voces Unidas. We're gonna be right back with the world of what was it? We're going to be right back with Alex Infinity and their guest. This is KROJ 101.5 FM, Radio Olin. You guys have been listening to The Drop on Spotify, curated by Daniel and Steph from Petrichor Brew Lab. This is us signing off. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.